G'day everyone, Jason Wood, the Trackman guy from Thornley Golf Centre with a product review of the brand new Titleist 917 range of metal woods. As we've seen in the past from Titleist, there's two models in this range, a 917 D2 and a 917 D3. Very similar in that respect to the previous model, the 915, which was very successful. A lot of people tried that one, hit it very well. It was the first Titleist driver in the metal wood era that had a very high moment of inertia. So you may have tried a 910, 913 and struggled a little bit. Certainly the 915 was a very good product and much more forgiving than its predecessors. The difference here with the 917 range is there is an addition now onto the bottom of the golf club called the SureFit CG. And basically what this is a movable weight on the bottom of the golf club that you can have fitted at different weights in the first place, but also can be located either centrally or more to the toe, more to the heel. We'll come back to that and take a bit of a further look in a moment's time. What's to know about the 917? Well, as with previous models, the D2 and D3 variant refers really to the shape of the head and the size of the head. The larger 460cc 915 D2 was certainly not so popular on tour. Most guys used the 915 D3 with the smaller 440 head, deeper face, and a little bit more of a pear-shaped sort of appearance when you put it down behind the ball. Early indications though with the 917 is that on tour bias towards the smaller head has certainly moved away. Adam Scott was a D3 player in the 915 range but has moved to a D2 variant in the 917, and I expect that to be the biggest seller, particularly for the club golfers. Even if you're a good player, I think the profile of the D2 this time looks absolutely superb. There is a small visual difference in the size of the head between the two, but realistically speaking, unless you're having troubles with excessively high launch and spin rate, which is probably where the D3 would come into its own, maybe half a degree lower launch than its competitor, the D2, but certainly a little bit less spin as well. But I think on the whole, with the new shafts and the new SureFit CG location in the bottom, I expect the D2 to be more prevalent in people's golf bags. So a little bit of Titleist talk. So what have they done to this golf club to make it a little bit more appealing than the previous model? The active recoil channel, which you can see across the bottom of the golf club head, there just to try and give a little bit of movement in the face, trying to get a little bit of extra speed. We know that in the last few years, most of the drivers in the dead center are about the same. The coefficient of restitution measurement pretty much limits all of the modern drivers from the center of the face to be almost identical. So really what these manufacturers are doing is they're trying their very best to make the golf ball come off slightly better when you hit the ball slightly towards the heel or the toe. And that's what we see here with this radial speed face. So Titleist tell us that they've tried to make the golf ball come off a little bit faster on off-center hits in the heel or the toe, and also have that slightly more forgiving feel about it. I had a hit with it the other day for the first time, and it certainly does feel as good a driver as they've produced. Very good ball speed, spin rate was nicely controlled, and I think that if you've had a go with a Titleist driver in the past or fancied one, then this is maybe the one for you. But let's talk a little bit about that SureFit CG. This is the one thing that's a little different. We've got one here that we've taken apart, and essentially it's this little angled channel in the back of the club face, or in the back of the club head, sorry, 30 degrees angled across the head, and inside there comes this little weight. Now the standard offering that you get when you buy the golf club, if you just buy one straight off the rack, is a 12-gram weight, and you get two 12-gram weights. You get a neutral one here, where all of the tungsten is dead in the center of the weight, or you get a draw fade biased version, where the tungsten is at offset to either one side or the other. If you come for a fitting, we can fit you for anything between an 8-gram weight all the way up to a 16-gram weight. So obviously that changes a little bit the swing weight characteristic of the golf club, but it also affects how much effect this has if you're going to make it one side or the other. So if you're going to use this more in the toe or more in the heel, clearly the 16-gram weight will have a little bit more effect and feel than the lighter 8s, 10s and 12s. The reason why it's angled 30 degrees across the line of the golf club is that realistically what we're looking for is the weight is closer to the face on the toe here, because generally if we have a toe end hit where we're losing shots away to the right, we've left the face well open, we've got an awful lot of spin, then the idea is that when you bring the weight closer to the face, it reduces the spin a little bit. Taking the weight further away, as they have done in the heel, will increase. So generally when we're looking for shots, this is more designed to try and help the player who's getting a little bit of excess hook on the ball. So it's going to try and increase the spin rate for the hook shots as opposed to decrease the spin rate for the other side. It really does make a difference. We tried it the other day. All the guys here had a go. The Titleist reps brought 2 versions in, changed the weights around, and it's incredible how much it can make a difference. I think it's one of those things that once you've got set up in a given location, you probably won't change it. So it's all about getting fitted here in the first place. Come and see us, we'll get you on the TrackMan. We'll take our time figuring out which is the best combination of loft and then weight CG, and that should give you the best of all worlds. 16 combinations as before, as we've seen in the neck of the golf club. That can give you a slight decrease in loft, a slight increase in loft, and again a slight fade or draw bias. There's an awful lot of adjustability with this. We see the Diamana shaft come back again for another run. We've seen this in the previous models, the blue board, the white board, the red board Diamana, but there's 2 new additions this time into the fold. On the standard stock list is the new Fujikura Speeder 74. This is a tour spec shaft, quite heavy, quite strong, and if you give the ball a good hit, that certainly feels very, very nice. And also in addition to that is the new Rogue Max from Aldila. A lot of you will see in the Rogue shaft in the 915 and be very, very happy with it. This will certainly make quite a bit of difference. Feels really good too, and so there's obviously an awful lot of choices for you when we try and fit you. So there you go, there's the review of the 917. Come down, we've got plenty of demo product here. We've got a full weight kit, and if you come and get yourself a TrackMan fitting, book yourself in for half an hour for a driver fitting, we'll be sure to be able to find you the right one. Jason Wood from Thornley Golf Centre. We'll catch you again next time.